Hello again. Last week, here on the MT and Me, I was in Pearl's overcab area taking some measurements, kind of starting the process of rebuilding that area of the overcab that needs a lot of work. All the woodwork's got to be replaced. Well, it occurred to me after talking to Rhea about it and after she watched the video that we have a lot of documentation about that. I say we, she's the one who wrote it all down. Whenever we were initially tearing that part of Pearl up, like 5 years ago, we documented that part, and she drew up some plans then that we would have to look at in order to rebuild that part of Pearl. Well, there's a notebook here somewhere that has all that information in it. So I'm down here on the floor crawling around looking at the place where we've stuffed stuff, and hopefully going to find that notebook, and maybe we can access all of those notes from years ago, and that should help us quite a bit in doing our work towards rebuilding the overcab area in Pearl. So why don't you come on under here and help me look? That's not it. Look, it's an empty notebook. Stick that to one side. I can use that. I don't think it's under here. And if it's not under here, there's only one other place it can be. Wait a minute. Ha 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 ha! This is it. Oh, this is it. The whole... It was right on top. Oh, if it'd been a snake, I'd be dead now. Okay, so we have the Handbook of Radio Publicity and Promotion, otherwise known as Blueprints for Pearl. So, welcome back to the MT and Me. I've got to refresh my own memory as to what all we have in this book. Oh, check it out. It's a actual floor plan of Pearl. Isn't that nice? Come in handy. Here's a design for kitchen, maybe, one of these days. A back kitchen, anyway. Oh, look. Overcab information. And before I start going over this, tell you what. Let's go back a few years here and look at some old video. I mentioned last week about the sandwich construction of that overcab area. There's a plywood decking, and then it's framed in with some half-inch wood pieces, and then there was insulation pieces laid in there, and then another piece of plywood placed in on top. That top piece of plywood is what had pretty well completely rotted away because it got wet under the mattress that was in that area and stayed wet for so long. Tell you what, though, if you will indulge me for about the next 4.5, 5 minutes, let's go back 5 years to the day that I was actually taking that deck area apart inside Pearl. And this will give you a little better chance to see what kind of condition it was in, how it was put together, and what I encountered in tearing this area up that I'm now getting ready to rebuild. And so, here's me in Pearl right at 5 years ago. And as you can see, all the wood is in pretty bad shape. So let's see if we can get it out of there. You can see from what I've removed so far that this wood, this is I guess 1/4-inch plywood that they have down on top of the foam insulation, the same stuff that's in the walls of the MT that we've talked about in previous videos. Well, this is a piece of the same thing, this foam insulation. You can see me pulling up on it right here. It's about 1 inch thick. Now where it stops, right along the edge, there's a wood insert. It just feels like maybe a 2x4 that they put in there. And that wood, as you can see, is completely rotted out. It's wet. Whenever we found the MT sitting on the lot in Nebraska, where it had been sitting for years, remember, this area, of course, which had the fold-down insert, had a large mattress up here. And, I mean, it was a queen-size RV mattress, curved to match the curvature of our cab-over area. And that mattress was soaking wet. The one vent in the MT, one roof vent, is located right above us here. It had a big crack and was about half gone from just weather damage. I think it had been through a few hailstorms. Anyway, it had broken. Water had leaked in through there, thoroughly soaked that mattress that was in this area. And that mattress just sat here wet, probably for years. And as a result, all of this wood is a total loss. We've got the mattress out. That's one of the first things we did when we got the MT here to our home in Arkansas. We got that mattress out of here. So this has had a chance to dry out some, but you'd be amazed at how wet this wood right under here still is. It's just as damp as it can be. So that's the challenge here, is trying to get all the wet wood out. But I have to pull this piece of insulation up as well in order to get underneath and see what's there so that we can get into the process of rebuilding the bottom of the cab over section. Just got to get this out, get it dry, and get it resealed around the bottom, and then the cab over will be ready for us to come in and do our modifications and remodeling. But first things first, a lot of old smelly wet wood has got to come out. Now as I get over to this side, the wood's drier. In fact, by the time you get up in the corner, there's really no water damage at all. So it's just certain sections, although all the wood's going to have to come out. It's not going to all come out as easy as that. Now, there's still a lot of rotten wood here because this is all framed in and all that wood is damp. So next, I'm going to see if I can get these pieces of insulation out. That'll give me better access to the wood framing, and we'll see what we have to do then. So sometimes, no matter how much extra care you try to take, things are just going to break. But that does take care of getting the top layer of plywood and the foam insulation out of the overcab. Now, I feel pretty good about the progress in the overcab area. You know, it's kind of strange watching yourself from 5 years ago on video. And interesting footnote here. That video, that footage that you just saw, was actually filmed by me, which is nothing unusual now. I do this every week, you know. But at that time, that was the first time that Ree had let me loose with a camera by myself. Prior to that, she had always been my camera person, my photographer. And if you watch the first year, 2 years of our videos, then yeah, Ree's always behind the camera, right? Well, at that point, that was the first time that I was actually responsible for my own filming. First time I ever did it. And goodness, it shows, doesn't it? The way framing, I'm way over here on the side, you know, right up front, talking to you on one side like this. So yeah, I like to think I've learned a little bit since then. I would also like to point out that she edited that video, and I now do my own editing too. But she set me loose, and that was my first time actually filming myself, which is something I guess it's a good thing I kind of learned how to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now, would I? Okay, all that being said, let me refer to a few notes here. First of all, let me come back to this drawing, which gives you a complete look and diagram of the over cab area. right there, drawn to dimensions and put into scale. Here again, this is Ree's work. I want to point out Ree is, she came out of college with a degree in history and minors in anthropology and museum studies. So she understands research. Come on, it's in her name, right? Research. So here this is graphed out and two dimensions that I can come back and refer to, and permanently mounted, as a matter of fact, here on some wonderful solid paper with plastic backing so that it will hold together. Okay, so we've got the actual shape and dimensions of the overcab area right there. Okay, we've got that. We also have this. Now, you're not going to be able to see this very well, the drawing here that she's done. But this is basically the same information that I took down right here just last week, okay? And what's really cool is the numbers match. 20 inches on the sides, all right? Now, she's got it broken down to 39 and 27, okay? This is a 29-inch measurement, but it's 27 there and 39 here from this center point coming back. But you add that together and you know what you get? 66 inches. And that's what I got, 66 inches front to back on it. And 29 inches as far as the width. This area right here, you got your little cross beam. This area right here, the cross part, okay. And we're at 29 inches. So our numbers all match. And the width from side to side here, 52.5, which is exactly what I wrote down last week as well. So, Ree, my numbers match yours. But you were there first. So it was up to me to match yours, and we did. So we know the numbers are the same, and that assures me that those are the correct numbers. Now, as far as what it's going to take to rebuild this area, she did a breakdown on this too, what we need for the overcab, for the decking in the overcab. To build this back, in total, it's going to take 3 sheets of plywood, 3 sheets, to get both layers complete. This is 3/8-inch plywood we're talking about, 4 by 8 foot sheets. Okay. So you got 3 sheets of 3/8-inch plywood that the pieces can then be cut out of. And as we said, it's in a 3-piece construction. There's a side, and then there's a cross piece in the middle. That's all fastened together by that framing that holds it in place and separates the 2 layers. Within that framing, that's where the foam insulation goes. And we need 1 4 by 8 sheet of foam insulation. I have saved the insulation that came out. So there's a good chance I might be able to reuse it. If not, we'll get an inch of some good closed cell foam insulation. Here again, another 4 by 8 sheet of 1-inch insulation, and cut the pieces that we need. Okay, and then we're going to need the framing boards to put all this together and to actually make our sandwich construction. These are, I guess, 1 by 4s. I think I've been calling them a 1/2 inch, but they're 1 inch, 1 by 4s. And they're 8 feet long. And we'll need 5 of them to actually do all the framing that's necessary in order to reconstruct that sandwich. So, 5 8-foot 1 by 4s, 3 4 by 8 sheets of 3/8-inch plywood, and we may or may not need an additional sheet of foam, 4 by 8 foot sheet of 1-inch foam. That is the supply list for redoing this decking in Pearl. So there's still lots to be done. But finding this information here, that here again, this dates back, this is 5 years old. But thank goodness, remade the notes, wrote them down, and saved them. And thank goodness my numbers agree with her. So anyway, a little flashback to 5 years ago this week here on the MT and Me, but it's helping us get ready for what's coming up, hopefully, in the next few months. Let me know what you think about it. Give me your ideas. Thank you, Gnomies, for watching as always and for your support here as we just kind of get our feet wet in 2026. I hope you'll stay with me throughout this year. We're here every weekend with a new plan of action to work on Pearl. Well, usually on Pearl anyway. Sometimes the rest of life gets in the way, but we're going to try to squeeze the old girl in there one way or the other. All right. Below, if you haven't subscribed, you can do that. You can also give me a thumbs up on the video. That really does help. It helps YouTube take notice and make the video available to other people who might be interested. So please, thumbs up when you watch, okay? And like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. Keep with us every week. I appreciate your support. I love you guys. Thank you so much, my Gnomies. I'm Russ, and as always, we will talk later.